Muted.
My audio hit that. But you don't need to mute.
That is something that's huge for parents right now, especially Black moms whose kids are trapped in failing school districts. Before COVID hit,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope for Prisoners family. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight to our Tuesday night huddle. As you guys probably realize, I'm not John Ponder. The reason you guys get the luxury of being with me tonight is because many of you have probably heard, maybe some of you have not, that just about an hour ago, our fearless leader was invited to the White House, where he was given a full presidential pardon today. So toward the end of this meeting, for those of you that did not get to see it, we will go ahead and post a link to the White House's YouTube channel so that everyone may view it. Please make sure that like, share, follow Hope for Prisoners tonight, where we're also going to be going on Facebook Live. And you'll get updates throughout the evening, as also a little bit later tonight, John will also be speaking at the National Convention. So I hope you guys will all tune in for that as well. It's been a really, really exciting day here. So we're going to get things going tonight. Are there anyone out there with anything they would like to share tonight? Any people here for the first time? You can go ahead and post your name in the comments or give us a wave. I see a lot of people out there tonight. Welcome, Casa Grande. John sends his love to you guys. Desi, do you see anybody out there in the comments that maybe is the first time here or has something they'd like to share this evening?
Not at the moment. Just a lot of people congratulating John, saying how amazing it is. So everybody's cheering.
I can see how that's possible. Well, you know that whenever I do the huddles, I like to just call on random people. So don't hang up right now. Don't log off. Someone that I'd like to call on that I know has some big events coming up, and she probably already knows I'm going to call on her because she's smiling right now. Melody, why don't you tell us that major event that you have coming up so that we can all cover you in prayer over the next few weeks.
That was great. Thank you for setting me up once again. I'm just trying to find my place, and sometimes I think that the image we have of the police department, just isn't the best. And so I invest my time, and I have for years, and I just want to be part of the solution. And I'm testing for Metro in 2 weeks, so just keep me in prayer.
That's good. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. Anyone else out here for the first time, or anyone would like to share anything as I'm glancing through? I see some new faces. Is Jolette out there? I spoke with your case manager earlier today, and she said that you might have some amazing things to share with us. Anyone know if Jolette is out there? All right, well, we'll give people a little bit more time to join.
All right. Joletta's here. I saw her somewhere.
There we go.
Where is Miss Joletta?
Did I unmute myself?
We can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
So
I
what's
wanted
going on in your life these days? How have things changed since you joined the Hope for Prisoners family?
It's been phenomenal since I joined the Hope for Prisoners family. I was able to get a job with a profound construction company, Martin Harris Construction. I have gotten my license. I have my kids in karate and horseback riding. I'm becoming a sports mommy. It's just been phenomenal, and I couldn't thank Hope for Prisoners enough. When I got the phone call from my caseworker, I opened my toolbox and I did exactly as, you know, I was given instructions to do. I was prepared, and I landed a great job. I just got a $2 raise, $2.50 raise. I'm now at $16.50. And soaring with eagles every day. I have people that say, "Hi, Joletta, how are you and your kids doing today?" And they make $100,000 a year, you know. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited at the possibilities, and I want to thank you guys and anybody that is coming into Hope for Prisoners. You put in the work in yourself, and you do as you're instructed to, and believe in yourself. Anything can happen. This is amazing.
That's great. Thank you, Jolette. And we are so very proud of you as well. You guys heard the things she said, all of the things that you hear John often speak of. He just asked you to just trust the process. If you trust the process and do everything that we ask of you, and we're going to meet you halfway every time, we guarantee that you'll be living life on a whole nother level. And that right there is a subject matter expert, a living example of that. And as I like to always say, I'm not just trying to sell you anything, because I'm a living example of that as well, as a March 2015 graduate. So I can speak just as everyone else can about the amazing things that this program can truly do if you're truly ready to change your life. Again, you have to stay committed, you have to stay connected, and if that's the case, then we're not going to let you fail. So I know you guys didn't come out to hear me talk tonight, so it's my distinct pleasure to introduce our speaker for this evening. He's been around the Hope for Prisoners family for quite a while now. He spoke at one of our huddles, one of our live huddles, I think just a little over a year ago. And it was such an amazing experience. We had to make sure that we brought him back. I'm going to take a moment and go ahead and read over a quick bio for this gentleman. This gentleman's name is Mr. Mark Lefkowitz. Mark Lefkowitz is a serial entrepreneur. He started his career at the ripe old age of 18 and has never looked back since. Basically, he left home in New York as a troubled teenager and found himself out in the streets of Las Vegas. He had his own version of I Have a Dream when he was homeless. Kind of funny to have a big dream when you start with absolutely nothing. No vehicle, no money, no friends, no place to stay, just the clothes that he had on his back. But he invested in his self-taught education. He bought a book and decided that he could change his ways by teaching himself and by asking lots of questions and by always being present. So from those very humble beginnings and clearly defined dream, he was on his way. How does one get started? He wanted to become a very successful real estate investor, and he would not take no for an answer. He learned that compounding power of intention, staying in motion, and critical thinking is the path to success. Today, he has a philanthropic trust and spends much of his time developing and writing experimental games that are sticky. Then it is the memorable lessons that are inscribed permanently in the minds of students. More importantly, he merges real-life experience with incredible entrepreneurship formulas seasoned with personal growth from the space of the win-win principle. His goal, no brother, sister, parent, student is ever left behind. How do we change this planet? We change this planet one mind at a time. Tons of golden nuggets and life lessons are going to be told tonight here in our huddle. So without any further ado, a Hope for Prisoners welcome to our dear friend, Mr. Mark Lefkowitz.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Art, for such a great opening. Really appreciate that. And let me just open with this. First of all, I'm honored. I am truly honored to be able to have all of you out there tonight, be able to present to you and tell my story. And special thanks to John for what happened earlier today in Washington or on the East Coast. So that's great. So let's get started. And yeah, and I like it when people participate. So if you yell out or something like that, it's all good because this is our class. This is our huddle. And I don't want to be just like talk and chop. So first question is, big fish, little pond, or little fish, big pond? So I drew this up, fish pond success strategy. So which one is it? Which one is better, to be a big fish in a little pond or a little fish in a big pond? And the answer is it's always great to be a big fish in a little pond. So imagine you study hard, you get 4.0s, become a valedictorian, you're really good in school, you do your homework. How would you feel? Would you feel like the big fish in your class or the little fish? Right, probably the big fish. Or like me, you don't have average grades, you struggle to get through it, it's a pain in the butt. I mean, I'm the reason that there was an upper half in the class. If it wasn't for me on the bottom half. So would I be the big fish or the little fish in this case, in this scenario? Exactly, the little fish. Imagine you're the big fish and you get accepted to Harvard or Yale or any of these great universities, and you're all of a sudden going to an Ivy League school. How do you feel then when you come back to your home and your parents and your friends? Big fish? Absolutely. But what would happen if you go to those schools and you find out it's really competitive? It's really tough. It's much tougher than you thought. You're in the bottom half and you drop out. What happens then? Then all of a sudden you feel like a little fish. And this can affect your self-esteem and your self-confidence. That's what we're going to get into tonight. On the other side, let's just say you went to a vocational school and you learned how to be a plumber, a painter, or a cook, or something like that. And you were able to basically open up your own business, become an entrepreneur, own your own business so people can't say you're hired or not. How would you feel then? Big fish. Well, that's exactly where we want to go, because how you see yourself matters so much. It's really the first step in entrepreneurship. Not all this business stuff, not all this theory stuff, management stuff, economic. It's how you see you. And if you see yourself in a great light as a big fish that can make the moves, you have confidence, you're going to go far. So let me bring you back to my story. I want to bring this entrepreneur lesson in a story. It's 1974. I'm just the 18-year-old kid. And basically, I'm walking down the stairs, and all my friends are already going to school. They're going to SUNY schools in New York, State University of New York, SUNY, Ithaca, Binghamton, Albany, wherever it happens to be. My parents have no money. I have no grades, and I really have nothing really going on. I come down the stairs, maybe hungover from the night before, and there's my mom. What are you going to do today? Probably get in trouble, do something like that. This is our house and we make the rules. No girls, no smoking, no drinking, no Pink Floyd. When you have your own house, you can make the rules. Is that clear? And I was like, whoa, this is like a dictatorship. As I wipe down the sweat off my head and I come down the stairs. So how do you think I feel then? Big fish or little fish? Exactly, little fish, yeah. So, you have any questions? These are our rules. This is my house. We make the rules. What are you going to do? So I was like, oh my gosh. A cousin told me, go to Las Vegas. They got tequila and showgirls and cigarettes and money that comes out of the sky like manna from heaven and fun, and it's a great city, and that's where a kid like you belongs. So I blurted out to my mom, what are you going to do? I got a question. Where's the door? I'm moving to Vegas. Later, I'm out of here. And off I went. So no real plan, no idea what was going on. And the first skill of being an entrepreneur is mashup. A friend of mine had a station wagon. You turn the car into a motel. One guy drives, one guy sleeps in the back. You stop at a gas station. Remember, we don't have very much money. We don't have anything going on. And so the skill is called a mashup. And you want to be able to mash two things up. Those are things. And back in the day of entrepreneurship, you look at snowboard, skateboarding and skiing. You look at Reese's, chocolate and peanut butter. And in this case, we had a station wagon and off we went to Vegas. Got to Vegas and I was so excited. I seen the lights. This was going to be everything. This is going to be so exciting. You got to be 21. We're not. Not allowed in the casino, not allowed to buy cigarettes, not allowed to drink, can't grab a beer, and nothing to do. So my friend who owned the station wagon says, I'm out of here. And off he goes. I watch him drive away. And there I am on the corner of Main Street and Wyoming, in that area, with my kids over my shoulder, my jock bag, some jeans. And the theory is you need to be dynamic. You got to be able to make changes. Skill number 2. So if you got your notepad out, start to write some of these things. I'm going to jump around a little bit, but something has to happen. And there I was, nothing. I mean, I'm homeless. I mean, my thought was find a cardboard box. It was kind of, maybe by the time we got to Vegas, November, December, it was cold. And jeepers. Not very, there I was. And it was time to really have a dream and get clear. This is not the position I want to be in. So let's take a look at this pond stuff. And my first question, survival pond. What do you think has to happen? What do you need in a survival pond when you're homeless, you're down, you don't have much? Or it could be just like us in Hope for Prisoners, you just got released. What do you think belongs here in a survival pond? What are some of the elements that you think need to go in there? So one of them might be food. Another one might be shelter. Anything else come to everybody's mind? How about clothing? And then, really important might be money.
That's the first thing. Water.
And water, that's right, yeah. And water. And probably to get out of this situation, education. And that'll be our pond. My art skills really show through. So, am I a big fish in a little pond or a little fish in a big pond right now? I'm not even in a pond. I am a fish out of water. I'm looking for a pond. And that's the thesis for tonight, is how do we create the pond that we need to be in? That's going to be our thesis for tonight. So I'd like to share the first one. The first one is rule number 1 in success. You must optimize your pond. What does that mean, optimize your pond? You have to start to look at things that are going to get you in growth mode. You're either in decay or you're in growth mode, or you could be just plateaued. You need to be able to optimize. And that means you need to be present. You need to be conscious. You need to turn on your critical thinking tool. This is the greatest computer in the world. So rule number 1, optimize your fish pond. Rule number 2, fish grow to suit their environment. Remember that. So how big will a goldfish grow if your bowl is only this big? Fish grow to suit their environment. You have greatness. You have all these different things. You have to look at these kind of things. So one of the first things that I need, that goes back to here, is shelter. So one of the rules of being a great entrepreneur is, how often do I not ask the question that if I had, it would change my life? Double underline that. How often do I not ask those questions that could change my life? So there I am, homeless. I walk right up to the Todd Motor Hotel. For you guys that have been in Las Vegas a long time, I think they tore it down now. It's kind of a schlocky place. That's a word meaning not so great of a place. You know, where if you want to use the restroom, you go down the hall, down 2 stairs, out to the outhouse in the back, that sort of thing. And I make a deal. Entrepreneurs make deals. And I offer them $20 if I can get it for $40 for the week, and I will have the next $20 within 3 days. Offer accepted. So now I've got my shelter. So that's really, really cool. I'm ready to rock and roll. So the next thing that happens is I start my next mashup. I get a job at Villa Capri Pizza. That's Commercial Center, 953 East Sahara. Back in the day, that's where the Q Club was. There's a Thai restaurant. You guys might know it. Back in the center, they used to have, and I get this job as a pizza guy, making the pizzas. Mash up. I'm mashing up $1.85 an hour with able to eat. I'm getting free pizza. What an incredible world. This is where you have to start to compound things. Getting paid to eat pizza. What could be better than that? So we go back to the survival pond. Now I got myself shelter and I got food. And sure enough, I get paid whatever it was, $1.85 an hour, which turned out to be, you know, something like $12, $15 a day. I pay my rent to the Todd Motor Hotel. And I'm on my way into my success. So the next thing was I needed wheels. Does anybody remember their first set of wheels? Anybody remember what their first set of wheels was? Whatever it was, what's the feeling when you have your own wheels? What's the feeling that goes underneath that? What happens? What is that? So, you know, usually it's, wow. Mine said Schwinn. It was a 10-speed. You have to be able to just make your moves step by step. Get around. Transportation's important. I want to impress the ladies. So I got my new wheels, a Schwinn 10-speed bicycle. Next up, I buy myself a size 56 post office coat. That's for a guy that weighs 300 pounds. Why? Mashup number 3, it's a bedroll, a sleeping bag, and when you get on that bicycle, you put rubber bands on the sleeves. It's a backpack. Compound everything. It's one of the things of being a great entrepreneur. Think out of the box. A $5 coat, and now I have a sleeping bag, a bedroll, a match, all rolled up into one, and a backpack. So one of the things I put down here was education, and I'll come back to that, but let's jump into education a little bit. I decided that maybe I was going to increase my library. So I bought a book. Now my library grew 100%. Here's the book. How to Turn $1,000 into $1 Million. It's not a great book. It gave me an idea. Turn that thinking cap on. Hey, this guy turned $1,000 into $1 million. That's what I want. So I actually read the book. It's not a great book. I'm not recommending you just run out and get it. And it was really important. And next thing you know, I pedaled my bicycle up to Bill Capri Pizza is shut down. The owner liked to go to the Stardust, and he liked 17 black, 32 red, odd even, and unbeknownst to me, whatever happened, it did not, yeah. So we have, again, we're going to be dynamic. What does that mean, being dynamic? That's the ability to change. Everything's moving. You are not static. Thoughts are changing. Everything, geopolitics are changing. Economy's changing. This virus is changing. You are dynamic. Be ready to change on the fly. So I had to reset myself. Reset myself. So the next thing is I go to the union. And you got to picture this big kid to get in the union. And here's what it looks like. You got to get a health card in Clark County. There it is. So you can see there's the health card. Right there, big afro, big smile. I need a job, and I get sent out as a fry cook to the MGM, the original MGM, as a fry cook. Great job. 2 eggs over medium, 1 with ham, 4 on 2 scrambled. And I'm the fry cook on the line in the coffee shop. That's all I do is flip eggs, make hollandaise, and so forth and so on. Which brings us to the next rule. Create what you need to create to succeed. That's your business plan. Create what you need to create to get success. Everybody has a business plan. Do we have any CEOs out there? Any CEOs? Raise your hand if you're a CEO. You're all CEOs. You're running the business called My Life. By default, we're entrepreneurs. You get a paycheck, you got cash flow, you got bills, you have things you need to buy, you have aspirations. You are all CEOs. Don't forget, you are the CEO of the company called My Life. And you have a business plan. That's your goal. Your goal can't be to be in the seat you're sitting in now. That wouldn't be much of a goal. Create what you need to create to succeed. Critical thinking. Get out of your box and start to realize, what do I need to create to be a superstar? You are all superstars. That's how you need to think. Next rule. I commit to being my best. Not doing my best. We're not human doings. You want to get out of the doo-doo. Out of the doo-doo. You are a being. You have feelings. You have energy. You have this great mind. How you be is the important thing. You are definitely, that's how you want to be able to basically commit to being my best. And that's not better than another. You're not being your best to outshine another. That's not it. Not it at all. You have DIVAL, dynamic valuation. You need to see that. You need to see your DIVAL. You need to be able to basically make some noise. Let people know you have your skill, yeah. So I want to talk more about that, being a DIVAL. Commit to being your best. So what do? I'm in this hotel. I run around like crazy. I go to the Barrymore room. I watch them make their salsas. I run around. I go to the Cafe Gigi. I can't even say it. And they make all kinds of stuff. And I learn because I'm committed to be my best. And the next thing that happens, as I move up the ranks, I became a broiler cook, a saucier, and relief sous chef. That's an increase in pay each time along it. And I actually got to serve guys like Joey Bishop, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, right, as their cook. So, which is totally amazing. Anyways, back to the book. What was this book? What's my business plan? How I turned $1,000 into $1 million. So what's my first objective here? I need to save $1,000, right? Isn't that what we need to do, right? So I put myself on a budget. These are the actual budgets. Every paycheck. How much is going for bills? How much is going for whatever every single week? I am committed to be my best. Nothing's going to stop me. I have power of intention. Power of intention is the most important.
¿Cerraste tu puerta bien?
What we lost. Okay. Anyways, this is really important. So I work hard and I go down to different things and I got my raise and I save up $1,000. Chapter 2 in the book. What score do they check if you want to buy a house? Anybody know what score they check? They check your credit score. What's my credit? I don't even exist. I'm a fish out of the water. So I pedal that bicycle with a size 56 coat, with the big afro, with the afro pick right here, and I pull right up to Wells Fargo Bank, and there's the banker with the pinstripe suit with the diploma on the wall, with the quill pen, with the oak desk, and I have this big New York accent. Hey, how you doing over here? You guys, what are you doing, right? And the guy says, scram. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. This is not going to plan. Get out of here. I'm going to call the cops. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's in the book. It's chapter 2. You need to have credit. I want to buy real estate. If you're not out of that seat in the next 5 minutes, you're out of here. That's what he says to me. So, what to do? So I pull $1,000 out of my pocket. Pull it right out of my pocket, $1,000 in cash. Boom. Put it on the table. I'm Mark Lefkowitz. I'm here to get a loan. I'm the best candidate for a loan in this bank today. I'm paid in full before I go out that door, get on my Hot Wheels Schwinn. You can't turn me down. There is no risk. I want my loan. I want it now. And there's no reason to turn me down. You can't lose on me. I'm a winner. With eyes like this. And you know what? I got my loan for $1,000. So whose power of intention was stronger? His to get rid of me or mine to get the loan? So now we have a loan for $1,000. Guess what I did with, they give you a cashier's check. They don't give you cash, they give you a cashier's check. Guess, anybody have a guess what I did with that cashier's check? This is important. I want everybody in the call to be listening. What I'm about to tell you is incredible. What did I do with that $1,000 check? I walked across the street to Nevada State Bank and I said, how you doing over here? I'm here to get a loan for $1,000. Here's a cashier's check from Wells Fargo. And they gave me the loan. They couldn't turn me down. Get out of my face. I'm here to make my business, which is to build credit. And they gave me a cashier's check for $1,000. Anybody want to guess what I did with that cashier's check for $1,000? I went across the street again. And I went and I said, how you doing over here? I don't know if it was Prime Merit or whatever back in the day. I mean, here's the bank accounts and the payment plans and the savings account from 1975 and 1976. You can see right there. 3 loans, same $1,000, each for $1,000, and I worked my buns off to make my payments of about $100 a month. I worked overtime. I committed to being my best. And after 6 months, I had 3 bank references. 3 bank references. So then I walked into this place called Sproul Homes in Nevada on Charleston and Rainbow. I said, how you doing over here? I'm here to buy a 2-story home. And they said, get lost, scram, get your mother. I'm like, what the Never mind. What? I mean, I'm like, are you crazy? I'm here. I want that 2-story house on that big cul-de-sac lot, and I want to sign a contract right here. Ready to go. You can't turn me down. I got great credit. I've been on the job now for almost a year. I have 3 bank references, and I got the down payment. And I qualify for FHA. And I got that house. I got that house. You decide what you want to be up here. You get your teeth in it. You make yourself strong. You make a noise. You commit to being your best. You write down your plan. And I rented out all the rooms to busboys and cooks and waiters. And they're all paying me $100, $125 a month. 4-bedroom house and converted the living room. I think we had 5 bedrooms by the time I was done. What do you think I did with that money? Somebody said, hey, kid, you should buy land. I'm like, okay. What kind of land? How do you buy land? Where do you go to buy land? So you create what you need to create. I started to read law books. You write your own curriculum. I'm not going to school. I don't have time for school. I'm a cook. I don't have time for that. I got to learn. So one day, it's all going pretty good. About 10:30 in the morning, I come downstairs. Oh, I don't know what I had that night. Whew, I was really partying. There's a knock on the door. I open the door. It's my mother. She ran away from home. I can't live with your father anymore. This is not, yeah. So I said, look, let me say something. Look, this is my house and we have rules. Very important rules. There will be girls, there'll be partying, there'll be Pink Floyd, there'll be beer. And if you don't like it, there's the door. And my mother said, I'm in. And that's the day our whole relationship changed because she realized that, yeah. So anyway, so that was a big change for me anyways. I had to move roommates out and make room for my mom and so forth. But anyways, that's, I'm getting a little bit outside of that. Let's see, what else do I have for you guys today? I wanted to just share with you a couple of lessons I think that are really good. You need to perturb this system. The system has to be perturbed. I'm not talking about the system of justice. I'm talking about the system in your head. You have to perturbate. Get rid of this old programming. You need to weed the garden and get rid of the things you think you are not working. Change your programming. Perturb the system. Some of the things to master. I like to, well, let's talk about the I ams. Remember, this is about self-concept. By the way, when my mom knocked on the door, who's the big fish? So you can have different sized fishes at different times. You go to work, you can be a little fish. In your own home, you can be a big fish. But keep in mind, how you feel about yourself and your home is important. Let's talk about the I ams. I am ... What word would you put there? And it could be 2 or 3. You could do I am but, I am ... I am ... And so if we did an inventory of I am, of this room, and we had this big umbrella. Somebody either write it down, hold it up, or unmute yourself and tell me, what would you put there now? How would you describe you? What is your I ams? What are the I ams in this room? That's what I want to know. I want to share it. This is our call.
I am blessed.
Blessed. I love it. Blessed. What else have we got?
Driven.
What is that? What was that?
Driven.
It didn't come across that. Can anybody hear that? Can you repeat that, Art? What she said?
Driven.
Driven.
Driven. Okay, driven. Yeah, driven. Okay.
Successful.
Successful.
Healthy and wealthy.
Healthy. I love that. Wealthy. I love that.
I am alive.
A what?
Oh, somebody's talking.
Alive.
Alive. These are great.
Resilient, determined, and blessed.
Okay.
And
I am
resilient
hopeful.
too.
Determined. Love it. I am a leader.
I'm hopeful.
Hopeful. I am a leader. I am a leader. Well, let's talk about that one. So that's great. Thank you for sharing, team. So all of these are wonderful and great. You may even have some of that are on the yang side. Loud, boisterous, headstrong, stubborn. So don't forget, you have a yin side, you have a yang side. But there's one I am that I want to do as a takeaway today. It's the most important. And that's my brother Gabby on there. He said a leader. So I'm going to put that here, a leader. That is at the top of the umbrella. All these are spokes. And they all lead to I am a leader. And who are you leading? Yourself. Leadership is a different form. You are a leader. Because if you weren't a leader, what would you be? A follower.
Follower.
Yeah. And we're all leaders. And what makes us a great leader? What's the quality that makes us a great leader? And that is we have the power of choice. We all have the power of choice. So as things are happening day to day, all around us, all the time, you choose in, you choose out. Saying no is just as powerful as saying yes. So you have the power of choice. That's the important thing. That's what makes you a great leader. You need to choose the path that's going to get you to where you want to go, to the top of the mountain. So we have a different game. It's called the Life Balance Sheet. And I have actually posted some of these things on here. And you can see the I ams right there. I'm going to read you mine. I am a leader in caps. Capable, healthy. Somebody mentioned that. Home run. Giving, positive, caring, powerful, successful. We have that on there. Authentic, wealthy. Put that down. Not always the money may not have shown up, but you are wealthy. You're here on this call. You've got friends. You've got network. You've got so many things. And this is a whole nother game. And John and I are working on bringing in a program that may come to Hope for Prisoners, which will be like a little MBA, which will talk about personal growth, financial literacy, presentation skills, and all that. But yes, I am a leader is at the top. And then everything that you want to happen will be underneath that. Lead yourself. So with that in mind, we talked earlier about education. And I said I bought a book, but we really didn't spend a lot of time. When I was younger, in the teens, the skills they gave us were reading, writing, arithmetic. Do you guys remember that? Reading, writing, arithmetic, they called it, right? All right, those are good skills. Things have changed. There are new skills that are not taught in the school. And it's up to you as the CEO, who's in charge, who's the principal, what school are you guys in? You are in the university. I'm in the University of Mark, University of Art, University of Gabby. You are in your own university, right? I see some names on there. Lourdes, right? I see a bunch of different names on here. Desi, Andre. You are the principal. You are the curriculum. You're the guidance counselor. What are the classes you need to know in your education? And the skills. Number one, compounding. That's like the mashup. Put two and two things together, it works. Compounding. That's a skill to learn today. Next skill, leverage. What the heck is that? What's he talking about? What's leverage? Leverage is what makes Uber work. Somebody's got a car and somebody needs a ride, and some company's getting a little bit from everything on that. And how much, who was the number one transportation company last night? Uber or Lyft? And how many flat tires did they fix? How many cars do they own? 0. But they made a lot. So the number one transportation company Uber doesn't even own any cars. Let's look at another example, Airbnb. How many hotels does Airbnb own? None. But they made money from everybody who needs a room, everybody has a place to stay. They are masters in leverage. Amazon or Alibaba, masters of leverage. So leverage big skill that we need to learn. And what do you need to leverage? You, your name, your brand, your presence, your words, your ideas, your creativity, your genius, your network, your IP, intellectual property. Leverage is where it is at. Next skill, data mining. What the heck is that? The world has everything available at its fingertips in seconds. Lots of information. You need to mine the data. Collect the data you need so that you can bring it all together. Get the information you need. Data mining is an incredibly great skill. Next one, analytics. I had to look this one up. I still can't spell it. What the heck is that? All the stuff you mine, what does it mean? What's the answer? What is it telling you? Analytics. So these are the things to learn. Compounding, putting multiple ideas together, just like we talked about pizza and working, or a station wagon at a motel. Those are very simple examples. Leverage, data mining, analytics. The next one is probably the biggest one, network science. How to use your network, how to use online, how to use social media, how to get the word out there, how to make it explode. This is a skill set you will need to learn to be really good. Otherwise, it's go to work, get a check, pay the bills, go to work, get a check, pay the bills, go to work, get blah, 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 blah. That's called the rat race. These are the skills to be an entrepreneur. Next one. Prediction. With all this information, you can make a prediction and figure out what's going to happen. Not always perfect, but you can do pretty good at it. And the last one is exponential growth. I'm just going to pick up the space a little bit. Exponential growth. That's where everything just goes boom. That's where you write a book and you sell 1 million copies. That's where you get a boom, boom, boom. This is where you come up with a product and it goes viral. These are skills between the networking, the exponential growth, compounding, and leverage. These are some of the things that I'm going to try to work through Hope for Prisoners. We have games that teach a lot of these things, and that'll be great. So I'm going to end up, as a conclusion, let's talk about how to get there. And so basically, anybody have an idea what this is? What these lines like that? That's a light bulb. And here you are. And you want to get here at the top of the mountain. This is the mountain. That's where you want to go. The top of the mountain is your goal, your dream. But there's one little problem. There is a valley here, and that is the valley of obstacles. Anybody ever have an obstacle in their life? Things get in the way? So how are you going to go from here? How do you go from here to the top of the mountain right here? Here's that mountain. How do you get to the top of that mountain? You got to cross over the valley of obstacles. And the way you get there This is a light bulb. And you guys emit some light. Does anybody here want to be like the light bulb on a Christmas tree, like 1 watt? Is that the light you want to put out? Is anybody here an extra in the play called My Life? No, you want, boom, this is energy. You want to light up. Get your energy up there. This is creative, all kinds. This is your energy. This is your energy of intention, your energy of power, your energy to get in motion and do something. This is your energy. You are not a Christmas bulb. You are 10,000 watts. Get across. And then you've got this. You are at the center of the universe with an unlimited circumference. That's your I ams. That's your critical thinking. That's how you see yourself. That's how you create what you need to create. That's how you write down your goals. That's your I ams, the wealthy, the success. What you say about yourself will come true. What I think about, I bring about. You are the sum of your thoughts. That's what you do. You take this and you light up with big energy and a lot of I ams, the critical thinking, and you will cross over the valley of obstacles. You will not go down that path. Anyways, okay, I ran over a little bit. I'll open it up to questions, and thank you guys very much for having me on tonight.
Thank you first and foremost, Mark, our resident subject matter expert. Let's go out and get some land together. How's that sound?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I know we have a little bit of time, and I know we have some people over at Casa Grande who've been waiting in the wings to ask a question. So Casa Grande, the floor is yours.
Where are you?
Hi,
Yeah.
Mark, I just wanted to say that you are by hands my favorite speaker that has ever spoken one of these huddles. Your energy is contagious, you're refreshing, funny, your advice is sound, and I just wanted
Thank
the
you.
time to speak to us tonight. It was really entertaining.
Thank you.
Cut out and out.
I couldn't hear what he said.
Yeah, their microphone cuts in and out.
Hi, I'm Mr. Harris. Thank you, Mark, for coming. Same here. I just wanted to tell you thank you because we need that positive energy because the energy is a lot like that around here. So I just appreciate you coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Mark. My name's Curtis Crosby. This is my second time at the Huddle, and I really appreciate that that speech you did. I pretty much got a lot from that, and it's very positive. Just thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else over at Casa Grande, or we'll open it up for a few more questions from the floor. Any entrepreneurs out there that have a question for Mark? Anyone building a business? Anyone chasing a dream? I know somebody out there has a question because I've heard a lot of people lately talking about starting a nonprofit, starting a business.
I got a question.
Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
Who was your boss at Villa Pizza, Carmine?
It was Villa Capri. Carmine came and opened up his shop about 3 years later in 1977 over on Little Side Street by Karen. So this was called Villa Capri. It was before Carmine arrived there. Carmine's a great guy and a personal friend. Thank you.
You got a place in Henderson.
Yeah. Great guy. And another New Yorker, right? From Brooklyn.
That's right.
Okay.
I have a question. Okay, so I want to say thank you for coming. I really enjoyed you. I have heard you speak before, and it's just been wonderful each time. But I wanted to ask you, what was it that made you decide at such an early age that you could stay here and make it instead of running back home?
Thank you. I love your question. I appreciate you asking that. going back, and this has to do with how we see our parents and how I see my dad and my parents. They always had some financial things, and I wanted to get some attention. And I never could get attention. So I'm going to get my dad's attention one way or another. So I said, I'm just going to make some success somewhere along the line. And so it was a little psychological. And he was a great dad, don't get me wrong. He just wasn't a big earner as far as that goes. And I knew this is a great town. There were so many great people. And everywhere I met friends, and I ran into people, and they offered so many things to me. This was one of the greatest cities on all time. And I don't know if I could do this in any other city, but thank you to the warmth of Las Vegas and the wonderful people there. And I was driven. Because I didn't want to be in a situation where we're always fighting to have the heating oil turned on, or what we were going to do for dinner on Sunday night. So thank you. Great question.
Hey, Mark, can I chime in, Mark?
Yeah, this is my brother, Gary.
Hey, Gary. I just want to mention that I stayed stubborn and true to my IMs, which were all negative about myself. And I jumped in with my brother, and he encouraged me with some of his IMs. And in about 5 years of time, changing my IMs, my beliefs, and using a lot of leverage, I am now retired and living extremely comfortable. And my energy level is probably just as high as his. But everything he just said there, I am living proof of that.
Oh, that's good. All right, I think we have time for just one last question. I see Miss Gia's hand up. Miss Gia, you can go ahead and take us home tonight.
Hi, I'm having some technical difficulties with the phone right now, but can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I am really curious on how you got started in investing in real estate. So for the sake of time, is it possible that I can email you?
Awesome. Okay, great question, Gia. Absolutely. As a follow-up, when John gets back, we will talk about putting on what I call the lemonade game. And that's basically a game that we're all going to play together with a virtual lemonade stand. And we start to learn all these different things by playing this game, and what an asset is, what a liability is, and so forth and so on. So maybe we'll be able to share that outside of the huddle, and we'll do like a different day. And anybody that wants to sign in, that would be great. We have so many different games. I have another game I'll just show a picture of. It looks like Chutes and Ladders. Oh boy, is it tough, because you have to do asymmetrical risk. And then we have the life balance sheet. And then we do have the lemonade game. So great question. And it's important that you ask. Thank you. In fact, you just put a second on how often do I not ask the questions that how do it change my life? You just asked a great question. Perfect. That's exactly what we should be doing.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of everyone's time tonight, and I know you guys have all been patiently waiting to change the channel over to see John and his RNC speech tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We're going to do this the same time next week. I love you, Hope for Prisoners family. Next week, you'll get John Ponder and not me, but it's been an honor to be with you guys tonight. I love you guys.
Thank you so much. Very inspiring and timely. There's so much opportunity. And I needed to hear this today, Mark. Thank you so much.
Anybody can reach out to me. I'll get the email over to Art, and I'll be more than happy, or we'll do a little group. So thank you, guys. I know you want to switch channels. I was honored to be your speaker. It was my privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
All right, we can go. Thank you for such a great evening.
Thank you. Definitely
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
All right. Bye, everyone. God bless you. Machikape.
We're leaving.